Hi. I am doing some YouTube videos because I built everything after destruction, and there's a lot of misperceptions about not only the things, it's new material, how things work, who they're for. I only ever built things for myself, particularly all the methods I use is literally me, only me, and nobody else intervening at all. It actually is really quite frightening when people try and intervene because they can't do it. And I usually say, look, they can go and make a high rise by themselves with no help from anyone or anything. But anything I've built is so large level, it's so massive that no, I mean, I'm sure that if they do go and make a high rise by themselves, they'll muck so much up and it'll take them 6 months to get through the first floor or two. So no. But anyway, so though I built everything, there's a lot of different weird ideas, and I guess it's just like, though I'm myself, so, you know, it's me who built everything myself, and I think a lot of people didn't know what happened, so they were trying to figure out, like, what's happened, why has that happened, who is that. I was quite public about it on Sound Networks as myself. During my early 20s, quite often I was called Baby because I didn't know my birth name, and it was often guys, and I like music. And because I like music a lot, in music songs there's like, hey baby baby, and people play music and like call me Baby. Quite often I was the only female as well, and because I was the only female, they'd like dedicate all these love songs or whatever, just like there's a song for someone, and obviously that would have to be a female because they're not gay. And if they're gonna say that song's for you, well, a lot of the songs where someone calls someone Baby, that would be me. But sadly, there were some cruel maniacs who attempted to confuse that as though I was under the age of 21, but nope. Um, yeah, something's going unusual with my lips and sound. So I'll keep doing this time, but I'm going to have to fix it up next time because I'm not even lip reading myself properly. And then that way it's just like one thing. It'll be backed up by the rest of what I do actually say. Yeah, so, I think it's important that people do actually understand, that what was built, it's different material, it actually works in different ways. So it's called different quantum foam. So the base material that the structure of physics is on is a different base material, right? So the base material that the physics was based on before is actually different, right? So it's new material. So it works somewhat differently. And very sadly, there are people who are doing identity fraud, and that's a massive crime. So I'm not permitting anyone who is fraudulating someone else of me as me. I'm against replace network. So nobody else of me is myself, was myself, nor is going to be myself. I don't permit it. It's my right to say no. I don't have to participate in things that I don't approve of because they're quite cruel and it's not what I agree with. Anyway, so I am publishing some like little 5-minute things. It'll be including visuals so people can see things I've built. It's only me, Jen, who built all the sunlight, and anything I build is for myself. It's the specific methods I use, so it's me and the thing. I build it for myself, not somebody else. Nobody else to intervene. I don't want any disruptions or anyone doing something that, I didn't approve of, or someone falsified I approved of. That means I did not approve. It means somebody else falsified my consent. So I don't want anyone to intervene with any of that, including me building anything. I mean, the number of people who destroyed heaps of stuff because me building something, they thought they should intervene, they want their things in it. Oh no. So anything I build is my way, so it's just me, inanimate objects, and I build it for myself, not for somebody else. So it's me building it for my own self, not for somebody else. And then that way there's no intervention. It's not whatever they want. It's not however they want it done. Actually, it's not for them at all. All right, and then that way it works. So it just means that there's me and inanimate objects. I get the things built because it's just myself, the way I want, how I choose, and not somebody else's at all. All right. They're not allowed to make any demands. It's not however they decide at all. Right? It's just not them building it, and it's not for them. So that's the way I do it, and it's very, very strict with me. If someone wants something built in a different way, go and ask a different person, right? But they're not allowed anything I've built or owned. They owe me money to use the materials. I always require that people pay me. Paper produce is world law, so, it's not a different law than that. And no impunity to murder as a mass. So things that I've built on my property anyway. But I've built everything after destruction more than 5 or 10 times, right? So it is a lot more excessive than what people think. But there's all sorts of differences, because a lot of people noticed that there were things that happened. I think there should be absolute publicising of what happened. I can mention wholeheartedly, I'm the only person who really has the right to anything I did. Right, so I'm my own self. What I was doing is really up to me. Most of the large level building stuff I did so in public, but not with many witnesses. Though I'd passed satellite ops at the time internationally, so definitely not for murder as a mass. It's not for the Commonwealth Government at all. They did crimes that murdered everything repetitively. And so, I did do it after I passed satellite ops, so it's on satellites. I also did do it in public, so it's not a matter of privacy. It's not a matter of someone built something in their own private area, and that privacy has to be invaded, so there's no red tape on that. Anything I've built is my own. I don't permit people to change things no matter what they want, right? It's not for them to have or change. But yeah, so I did it in public, but often not with a lot of witnesses. It's not that there were no witnesses. It's not that nobody knew. I was quite often vivid about it, so I'm loud on sound networks. Often before, during and after I built things, usually before and after. During, I'm concentrating on something else and not people, so it's not where people should ever intervene. Before and after, I've mentioned, there's that. Yep, I know how to build that, right? I build it, I own it. I always require to be paid money if it's something I've built. Adequate money, there's insurance values and stuff. If something's destroyed and I build something that's sort of the same, similar, then it's my property. It's insurance laws, right? Whatever was destroyed remains destroyed. It's now dead parallel world. It's now gone, But anyway, so instead of people questioning and what happened and it being a mystery, they should actually really know. And the part that I have 100% rights over is things that I did myself. It's me who built the things. So, and because I built them in public, there's no privacy red tape. I don't build things for others, so it's not at their requests at all. Anyway, so, people should understand and should be able to see things. So, though I built everything, I'm still able to. I have no diminished ability of building things. So, there's some things that I can show, so that people can actually see it and they can see that, on a video. And they can see on a video this and that as, but I'm going to have to straighten up the videos so there's no room for error. Because at the moment, when I watch videos anyway, and the sound in someone's lips, there's a delay. I'm noticing that's on my screen, so I'm going to have to try and smooth that out. And even if I don't smooth it out, I'm going to continue anyway, instead of just there not being the information there. I can probably go back through my own tape and make my own handwritten statement, word for word of what I said. Right, so it's verified legally anyway. And it's definitely not for anyone to change my words. It's not their right to change my words. If they want to make up their own words, that's their own problem. But they're not allowed to change mine. They're not allowed to change my words. And there's heaps of things that I do and say, sometimes I do sarcasm. It doesn't mean I mean every single word I say ever. No. All right, so I am going to kind of upload this. And I'll be looking around in the next while for different nice things and making sure that it's something safe for the public to look at. It's not for them to do or try. Actually, I'll keep mentioning it's my intellectual property, so it's not their right to do. Any science I've developed is my own property, not their right to do though. you know, and my intellectual property is for me. It's not for people to copy it at home or say that if I can do it, they can. No, they can't. It's not for them. All right.